Hello, this is the 7th and 9th lecture of the Semantic SEO course. And in this lecture, we will examine one more article, and then one more, and then we will be ending the fundamentals section together. So this is a Boolean question. Directly it appears in our macro context as it appears in this area too. And you already remember actually our article methodology in this section to reasons, importance, popularity, or general summary, etc. And in this part, we actually examine directly the definition by telling that is it bad or good for us by using the specific word in this section or wording in our macro context. Then we also tell that is not bad for you, even has positive benefits for healthy individuals. The thing here is that we could directly tell that it is actually good, but then actually we will be a little bit more distant from this specific, let's say, vocabulary. The query vocabulary and the document vocabulary, they should be aligning with each other. That's why first we tell not bad to be able to use the bad. Then we even talk about the positive benefits and healthy individuals, let's say, or the telling that positive effects and the health effects. So it is popular as 79% of people in one survey stated that they prefer to drink cold water, which actually focuses on the popularity section in this area. And it's feeling, and it gives the feeling of refreshment, and this is one of the reasons in this part. And here we tell several studies have suggested that it helps boost metabolism rates, assist weight loss, and help boost low blood pressure. If you remember, all these things actually are already used in our benefits of water article as well. And one more time, it is connected to water, but in this time we are using the specific cold adjective. We will be focusing on the images later, but as you realize here we have our brand inside the arc, let's say the ice, but this is an Arctic water brand, and there is a drinker, and this is the drink. So always we have actually kinds of flow in our images with the central objects as well. Cold water does have downsides for those with certain medical conditions that could be taken into consideration, because when we tell is it bad or good, since according to the conditions it will be changing, we will need to explain these conditions as well. While doing that, we will need to give certain types of factors. For instance, weaker immunity for those who already have weaker immune systems can exacerbate cold stress for those in emergency situations struggling to keep their core body temperature up. And despite the complications of drinking cold water, societal and cultural values as well as personal preferences, which are factors, play a big part. Here we have an expert, Julia Matos, who serves as an associate dean at the College of the Health of the University of Utah, said that cold water always tastes better to people. Dr. Carol Telweir of KU Leuven in Belgium, probably this U means a university, found that cold temperature masks bad taste, which may take drinking cold water more appealing at that time. So we give even multiple quotes, or let's say resources or evidences to state an advantage for that. And when we look at the next sections, you will realize that we are using these specific parts. And if you continue like by asking what are the risks and disadvantages of drinking cold water, and you remember why we have used both of these wording, it's coming from our queries, you will realize that directly we are giving certain types of parts of bodies, always with a certain type of, let's say, template. For instance, we use heat words directly by marking them like nasal mucus thickening. Then we always study. Again, something, a kind of risk or disadvantage study. Risk of disadvantage study. Risk or disadvantage study. It always goes like that. You can imagine that these are like single word sentences or single concept sentences. If we finish it like here, it means that this is one of the risks. Then we actually give the evidence for that, and it always continues in that system. We mention the cold stress one more time with a different type of research and the study which shows the richness of the specific content. And one more thing is, whenever we use the word cold, the thing that you will need to understand that all the specific numbers, they will need to be about Fahrenheit or the Celsius, like liters, cups, gallons, or ounce. This time we use Celsius mainly, then we turn it back to the Fahrenheit I believe in United States, Fahrenheit has been used more, but in Europe, I believe Celsius has been used more. One more time, we have woman, man, and different types of percentages together with all these sections too. If you go to the further section, which body part can be affected by cold water? In this case, actually, we use the specific parts. One more time, we give an answer, then we give a study, answer, study, answer, study, answer, study, or let's say declaration, evidence, declaration, evidence. It goes like that. And again, we have numeric values. Whatever we put in this part, we directly have all these things in these areas too. This is a unique image one more time. And which body parts can be affected by cold water? What are the risks and disadvantages of drinking cold water? We ask both of the questions here. Here we give the body parts, here we give the risks. And we always use this type of visual communication with a certain type of, let's say, search engine understanding. And it is for another, let's say, lecture. If you look at through these parts, let's read brain and nervous system, which we always mention as the brain functions. Dr. P. Mattsson at the University Hospital in Uppsala, Sweden found that drinking cold water can lead to the sudden headaches. And Dr. David Schultz of a specific important place warns that if one is suffering from the heat exhaustion, ice cold water can trigger a nervous system response that leads to the loss of consciousness. So there are different types of effects on different types of body parts, and we give evidences and the variations of them as well. And another important thing here is that we don't directly tell cold water, but also we tell ice cold water, which is a type of water as well, because we can replace the cold water with ice water by telling that can you drink ice water, by assuming that ice water also will be the cold water, even if they are not same thing. If we look at here, why do my teeth hurt when I drink cold water? Your teeth, we tell here because here we have my and opposite is your. Hurt when you drink cold water if they are already sensitive as a result of other dental problems that have left nerves exposed. Experts at, again, somewhere, company that specializes in dental products explain that the loss of the protective enamel, blah, blah, blah. In this part, telling this section is important too, because you will need to connect this company back to your context. Here we have dental problems, here we have dental products, which are completing each other. So you will need to pay attention to these anchor segments as much as possible. If we ask this question, what are the benefits of drinking water? One more time, we actually use increased, boosted, or improved. Always we use the same ED section directly, and we give the studies one more time. Declaration, evidence, and always we use different types of measurement units, percentages, or different types of, let's say, the temperature degrees as well, and we have it inside this image too. Then we have a Boolean question. Does drinking cold water help you lose weight? Drinking cold water does help you lose weight because it increases your metabolism, helps you feel more satiated, improves performance during exercise by keeping your core body temperature down and minimizing sweating. When asking does drinking cold water burn calories, we can point to the X study, Y study, and this is likely because the body had to work harder to warm the water body temperature, thus increasing the calorie burn. But at the same time, since there are some other types of researches, we try to actually give a diverse perspective here as much as possible, we can tell. And this time, since there is not a really good consensus here, we give overall answer. But when it comes to here, we directly tell you, no. Is drinking cold water good for high blood pressure? No, drinking cold water is not good for high blood pressure. And then from here we continue like that, and this is a scientific, a kind of scientific chart that shows the effect of cold and the warm water on female and the male body. Most of the time, I believe you are realizing that all these things are manual. We don't use any automation. Even just like 2 minutes ago, someone asked me, how do you do all these things manually? Don't you use any automation? How do you find unique topics all the time, and how do you find which research or which consensus should be used? How to do it in a manual way? To be honest, the best way for doing these things in a manual way is understanding the search engine and loving the organization of information, and you will need to love thinking a lot. And lastly, here, one more time, how much water should I drink a day section has been linked properly. And as you see, it seems directly natural. We don't link from the first word. And once we link it, just around that specific link, we see that actually certain types of related words, studies, evidences, or milliliters or milligrams. And in this part, directly drinking hot water has been linked. One more time, we ask which one is best for the body, cold water or the warm water, which warm water has been used in the images as well and in the queries too. And here we use warm and the hot water in a replaceable way for each other. So this lecture is already too long, so I will end it here. And in the next lecture, we will examine drinking hot water. And from there, we are ending the fundamentals. Thank you.